Hi, I'm Lorre White, the luxury guru. Thanks for tuning in today for another podcast about luxuries around the world. Today I'm in New York City and we're going to be discovering the luxury and art of antiques. I'm at Newel Gallery, which is the largest of the premier art galleries in the whole country, and I'm here with Lewis Baer, who is the owner and proprietor and very knowledgeable about all different types of antiques. Today we're going to be discussing one of my favorite ones, which is the Biedermeier. And Lewis, could you tell us a little bit about this? I really like this because I like the simple lines of it, and I like the fact that it uses the natural grains of the woods to be their decoration.
Right. Biedermeier is a really nice period of furniture. It's really around the beginning part of the 19th century, and it really is a very simple designed furniture. It's not complicated furniture like you think of as gilt Louis XV type of furniture. It's very clean lined and very elegant.
Right.
Almost has the simplicity of Art Deco. If you look at this chair, just the fan back, if you just saw this one little element, you would think it's from the 30s. So it has a timeless quality to it, which is very, very nice. And that's why people gravitate to it, because it's easy to understand, easy to live with, and it doesn't make for a very complicated type of furniture.
What country is it from?
Well, the best pieces were generally made in Austria.
Okay.
It's really where it started. You'll see a lot of this furniture in lighter versions in birch and maple and sycamore, which were made more in the northern European countries, where those woods are more indigenous. But the better quality pieces were made in Germany and specifically Austria and Eastern European. These pieces here are all Austrian pieces, probably from around 1820, 1830.
Okay.
I'll just go across and describe what we have here. Also, what's interesting is the types of woods that they use. Now, two of these pieces here are cherry wood, and this last one here is walnut.
Right.
They did not use the heavy mahoganies or darker woods like that. And the darker woods usually would require some sort of an ornamentation, whether it be bronze or inlay, to help bring out that dark wood. These woods, because of the lightness of it, the veneer, the design of the actual veneer gives it the design that you're looking for. Very little embellishment. This pot table here, which, as you might see, has a little drawer.
So it's great for people who live in New York City and you have storages of a maximum.
Storage is critical.
So you could use this as a table, or you could put a vase or something on it and use it as a pillar for art.
Exactly. It could be used as a pedestal or an end table. But if you look at it, there's very little ornamentation on it.
Just a little black trim.
Just a little ebonized trim, and the veneer really, the way it's laid down, is very, very nice. The warmth of the wood, the cherry wood, comes out of the piece. And again, it's a very simple design. If we go over to this chair, again, it's a very simple design. The fan back is a very stylish look. Again, it's cherry wood and a very beautiful, and this is a nice large scale chair. It's actually it's a pair of chairs that we have. Just showing one example here. But this fan back, you could almost mix this with a piece of deco furniture. Absolutely.
It looks very Art Deco.
Very. Now the last piece is made from walnut, and if you look at the top, how the book matched veneer is put down on it, it looks like it's almost painted furniture in terms of how that veneer is laid down and symmetrically placed.
Yeah, it created a flower. Yeah,
exactly, it looks like a flower. And the base is nice little simple scroll pedestal base, very simple but very elegant. It's a very, very warm, functional, and very understated quality piece.
Now, all of it tends to have a very high gloss on it. Is that very typical of the Biedermeier?
Generally speaking, you would want to put a nice high finish on it because that brings out that beautiful veneer of the wood. That's really a quintessential part of good Biedermeier, is a nice finish. You don't really want it to be dull or a flat or a stripped look. Okay,
now what would the price on this end table be?
Well, this end table is around $21,000. It's a really fine example of Austrian Biedermeier furniture.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful piece. And again, the nice simple scroll on the base just gives it a nice movement upwards.
And this chair, how much would the chair be? It's actually a pair.
This is a pair of chairs. These are $35,000. These are really a great pair of armchairs in the cherry wood. Large scale also, which is nice. A lot of 19th century furniture tends to be a little bit smaller and so it's not as functional, but these could really serve a lot of purposes with the scale.
A large man could sit down in this.
A large man could sit, absolutely.
Comfortably. And now and how much would this piece be?
The Poe table is $15,000.
Okay. And as far as it having the black trim, that is very typical, right, of Biedermeier?
Yeah.
Now these two pieces don't have that.
Right. You'll find sometimes Biedermeier pieces will actually be all ebonized with a little bit of wood trim too, almost the reverse. But that's the type of ornamentation that you're going to see. You're rarely going to see any kind of inlaid marquetry or parquetry, flowers, bronze trim. All of that really wasn't part of the design and function and look that we know of as Biedermeier.
It's a very neoclassic style.
Very neoclassic. That's why it has that timeless look, because the neoclassical look, it goes back to the Grecian days.
Right.
And if you look at a piece like this, it could be a Grecian pedestal in terms of the form. And that's why it has a timeless look,
Quality
as well as very nice quality. The wood is so warm and so inviting.
Do you have any tips for anyone that's antique collecting and shopping and may be interested in Biedermeier? Things that they should look for, and things that they should make sure that they, that it's not a bad piece.
Well, I think the most important part is the design and the wood. These are all veneered. They're not solid pieces. So in terms of looking for good quality, you don't want to have pieces that have patched veneers where it's not going to look like it's the original nice, clean look.
Right.
So condition is important, as well as a good form.
Okay.
I mean, they make reproductions of these things today. You can tell by the finish and by the whole look. It just doesn't have the quality.
Right.
They don't use the veneers that you see on original pieces.
Right.
But with antiques, like everything else, it's experience. The more you see, the more you learn, the better you're prepared.
Well, like with any art form or luxury, whether it's wine or anything else, the more you know it, the more you appreciate it, and the better eye you have for it. So thanks for teaching us a few tips and things that we need to learn when we're antique shopping. I hope you learned some things today about the art of antiques. I know I always learn so much when I come to visit my friend Lewis, and I will look forward to seeing you in a few days. Remember that luxury is the art of living. Don't just exist, live. It's not about amassing quantity, it's about the quality. See you soon.